So net asset method is a method that compare the total assets and total liability of a company. Okay. So value of equity is equals to total asset minus total liability, which we call net assets. Net assets. Okay. So under net asset, all you need to do is to get the total assets and total liability, get the difference, and get the value. So that value you have is actually value of equity. So if you have that value and you are told to get value per share, all you need to do, this is market price per share, will now be net assets results over number of shares. Okay. This net asset method is always actually we call the result, we call it capital employed. Okay. Any question before we proceed? Any question, please?
You said another name for that method is what, sir?
Capital employed.
Okay, it's capital employed.
Yes. So before we proceed,
all right, sir,
you have to understand this under net asset method. Two things. The first one, intangible tangible assets, that is non-current assets, should be ignored. That's one. Net assets method results should be the lowest value to advise a company to accept. Okay, do we get these 2 points? Very important. Do you get those 2 points? You know, normally total asset is
number 2 is not clear.
Number 2 is not clear.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, look at these methods now. Let's say after valuing each of the method, the value of the company according to net assets is 12 million. Income base says is 10 million. Cash flow method says is 15 million. Value-based methods says is 4 million. So according to the rule of business valuation, if I may ask, among these 4 methods now, which one is the lowest amount the company should accept? If you want to advise them on the least amount, the lowest amount they should accept for their value, which one are you going to tell them? What amount?
That's value market.
4 million.
4 million.
4 million.
4 million. But I'm telling you now that this is one of the notes you have to understand and remember in business valuation. It is not 4 million, but it is your result of net assets method. 12 million. Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Any
No,
question?
sir. I don't understand.
Look at the note B. Net asset method result should be the lowest value to advise a company to accept. Okay, yes, net assets gives 12 million, income base 10 million, cash flow 15 million, and what again? Value base or market base 4 million, right?
Market base method.
Yes, 4 million. But we are saying that net asset method results, which is 12 million, should be the lowest amount. The lowest amount you as a finance manager or as the CEO or CFO should advise any company to accept. Why? When you look at income-based method, you have some assumption, cash flow, value-based, but net asset method, this is just me saying if I'm to dispose of my assets now and deduct liabilities, I can actually get 12 million. If I can dispose of the company's assets now, deduct the liability, and it will give me 12 million. So why should I accept 4 million from value-based or 10 million from market-based? Do you get the point?
Yes, sir.
If you can dispose of your assets, deduct your liability, you have a value. That's a certain method. No matter that any other method results, you know, truth be told, if you should dispose of those assets now, you can get these 12 million. Is very realistic. So why should you now go for a lower value when you can actually get that value? So that net asset method result should be your lowest amount you advise. When you see examiner asking you in question in exam, that advise the company on the range of value to be accepted or the minimum value they should accept. Under business valuation, it is net asset method result. Are we clear? Great. We have 15
Yes,
minutes.
sir. Sir, can we say it's the best method?
You said
Sir, can we say it is the best method?
it's not the best method.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. It's like we are not seeing the screen well. See this number 5. That's method number 5.
This number 5 is
I don't know.
okay. Let me do
There's
something.
nothing to sit for.
Just a minute.
Option-based
Can
method.
you see it now? We should be able to see it now, right? Can we see it now?
Yeah, it's okay, sir. It's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. Let me. Sorry, that's some of my colleagues that are still at work. Okay, so let's proceed. Can we see the screen? Like it's not that okay. Let me imagine. Can we see it now? Hello.
It's not that clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is not clear? The screen will be the explanation.
Something black is covering it. Okay, it's okay now, sir. It's okay
It
now.
is fine now.
It's okay now, sir.
Okay, so let's proceed.
It's fine.
Very important. Under each method, there are going to be 2 notes. Take those notes serious. Okay. So net asset method ignore intangible assets unless if examiner states that you should unless if the market value of such intangible asset is given. But if you only have the book value, ignore. But if the market value of source is given, then you consider it. Do you get that? Then for net asset method, I said it again. I'm saying this again. It is the lowest method to advise anybody to take actually. Okay, so under net asset, we still have some other sub methods. Net asset method. Okay, we have sub methods. Okay, we have 3 of them. We have the net asset historic. we have the net assets revaluation, and we have the net assets realization. Are we there? So another name for net asset historic is what we call net asset book value. So what are you doing here? Very simple thing. I said it before that net asset is actually total assets minus total liability. Abi? This one is using book values. That means you are going to just pick up the financial statement, then get your total assets minus total liability. So this guy here, net asset realization, who can tell us another name for it? Hello? Are we there? Okay. So save our time.
Is that net realizable value?
Yes, sir.
Revaluation, net asset revaluation.
Net. It can be fair value.
Fair value. Okay. But it's not the fair value, sir. Any other name for this revaluation? Okay, it is net asset going concern. Are you on the same page? Why do you want to revalue your assets? Because you still want to be in the business, isn't it? So this one is still your net assets, total asset minus total liability. But here you consider the revalued assets. Are you on the same page? Are we there? Are we there?
Yes, sir.
So who can
Yes.
tell us
Yes, sir.
another name for this third method? Who can tell another name for this third method? So net asset realization. Why do you think we want to value our assets based on realizable method? What happened? Why do you think? Probably want to stop the business.
Based on
Net asset
disposal.
liquidation. Okay. Net asset liquidation. So what are you doing? Still your net assets, total asset minus total liability. Okay. But what you're going to do here, you're doing this. You consider the disposable, is it disposable value, disposable value of assets disposed. Are we clear? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's that. Maybe more than for net asset method. So by my time is 7:23. I have another engagement by 7:30. So please permit us to draw the curtain of today's lecture here. Next week, Wednesday, because we continue with the class. But the key take home here today is that when you are doing the evaluation, you are doing three things. The calculation actually, market price per share, market value of equity, and market value of the company. You have some concepts like annuity, growing annuity, terminal value, and perpetuity. We have methods, 5 methods: net asset, income based, cash flow based, value based, and option based. For net assets, it's just total asset minus total liability. You have two things to note. Intangible non-current assets should be ignored unless their market value is given. And also, the net asset method resource should be the lowest value you are going to be advising any company to accept. And also, under net asset method, we have three sub-methods. Net asset historic, or you see examiner saying net asset book value. We are saying the same thing. What are you supposed to do there? Just go to the financial statement, get total assets minus total liability. Even though you have information like maybe some assets were revalued, some were given their realizable value, ignore those ones. As far as you are doing historic of book value. When you get to the second sub-method, net asset revaluation or going concern, you check your financial statement, but addition to that, you now consider any asset that you have been told that has been revalued. You bring the revaluation method, revaluation amount. Even according to your CR or FR, I think IS 16 PPE, right? When you have revaluation, when you revalue an asset, you carry that asset at its revalued amount or revalued figure, whatever, be it or revaluation gain or surplus, you carry the assets as its revalued amount. I think I'm clear, and people that are doing CRA can actually testify to that. Okay, so yeah, just for the revalued amount of figures here. Then the last sub method, which is the net asset realization or realizable value or liquidation, is when a company wants to cease operation actually. Okay. And what is the formula? The same formula, total asset minus total liability. But here, you consider the realizable value of the assets you now disposing after considering your assets in the financial statement. So, any question before we call it a day? Any question?
Please have a question.
Okay, sir, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'd like to ask, is it possible for us to make use of the three sub-methods while
Next class.
calculating, or just one?
Of the sub method in exam? Are you saying in exam? Sorry, I didn't get
Yes,
it.
during exam.
In exam, it depends on what you want you to do. Let me check if I have the question here. Just a minute. Let me show you something. I've seen situation whereby examiner says students should use the method. Can we see my screen? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Like, can you see a
Yeah.
question? It's question, not now.
Yeah, illustration 2.
So look at illustration 1. Requirements. Calculate the value of one share in ISL based on each of these methods. So if I may ask, I mentioned it that we have three things we are doing under this evaluation calculation. Either 1, market price per share, right? 2, market value of equity. 3, market value of the whole company. Abi?
Yes, sir.
No matter the method, these are the either of these. So if I may ask, which one are we told to do among all these? I can see net asset historic, net asset revalued, P/E ratio, dividend yield, PV of future cash flow. But I'm asking now, which one are we doing among these?
Which one are we doing among these?
One.
One.
Market price.
Market price per share or market value of equity?
It's market price per share.
Market price per share.
Okay, look at it here. Calculate the value of one share. Value of one share. That's the market price per share. but using different methods. Okay. So you can see requirement is very key. If you look at this question now, okay, it's even just, I think it's 3 pages. This one is not that long. 3 pages. See. So let me just show you something before we leave. You are employed by Gospel in the very large. Okay, its board is considering making an offer to buy 100% of shares of Ilabe Statue Limited. So if I may ask, what is the reason for valuing this company? Why are we valuing this company? I just underlined that. Why are we valuing it? This is because of merger and acquisition. The company plans to
Merger.
acquire.
Yeah, merger and
I think it's
acquisition.
acquisition.
Okay.
Yes.
We are valuing it because of merger and acquisition. But in the requirement, the question is just only on let me see. Only on business valuation. Some question examiner will combine both business valuation and merger and acquisition together. Although whereas we are aware that without valuing a business, we can't do merger or acquisition. Okay. So let's call it a day here. So depending on the question, some question just tell you net asset method. Some will be specific, use this, use that. But some in the requirements, in the body of the question, you will know if you have to do both historic and other method. Okay. So let's call it a day here. If there is no any further question or other question, can we call it a day now, please?
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Enjoy the
Yes.
rest.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
God bless.
Thank you so much.
That was
God
it.
bless
Thank
you.
you, sir.
God bless them.
Yes. So bye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Welcome.